Good morning, class. For today's topic, it's all about the Rizal's life, family, childhood, and early education. For this topic, we're going to discuss about the Rizal childhood days, including the birth, family and ancestry, hometown, story of the moth, boyhood influences, and education in Calamba and Binyan. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda. Protasio is a patron saint of children and a martyr. He was born on June 19, 1861 in the Calamba, Laguna. And it was said here that I was born in Calamba on June 19, 1861 between the 11th and midnight. A few days before full moon, it was Wednesday, and my coming out in a veil of tears would have cost my mother her life had she's, she not bowed to the Virgin of Antipolo to take me to her sanctuary by the way of pilgrimage. Jose Rizal was baptized on June 22, 1861, and he was baptized by Father Rufino Colantes, and his godfather was Father Pedro Casañas. Jose, from a Christian Saint Joseph. Father Colantes said that take good care of this child, for someday he will become a great man. Obviously, it happened. It is because of the great contribution of Jose Rizal in our during the Spanish colonization. He gave light to those Filipino to enlighten their mind from being oppressed uh, by the Spaniards. Rizal parents is Francisco Mercado Rizal, or Francisco Mercado, is a descendant of Domingo Lamco, a Chinese from Anoy, China, and was baptized or Christianized in Manila. He became a farmer and a tenant in a hacienda owned by the Dominican friars in Calamba. He was a college graduate by the course of Latin and philosophy. He was graduated at the Colegio de San Juan, Manila, and he was a hardy, independent-minded, strong in body, valiant in the spirit. He was died on January 5, 1898. Next is the mother of Jose Rizal. She was Chodora Alonso Realanda, a woman of more than ordinary culture. It was said by Jose Rizal by one of his poems. Chodora Alonso Realanda came from a family whose members were lawyers, priests, government officials, and merchants. So she was educated and also graduated at Colegio de Santa Rosa. She has a refined culture, literary talent, business ability, and fortitude. She was died in Manila on August 16, 1811. Result children. First is Saturnina Rizal Hidalgo. Second, Pasiano Rizal. Third, Narcisa Rizal Lopez. Fourth, Olympia Rizal Obaldo. Fifth, Lucia Rizal Herbosa. Sixth, Maria Rizal Cruz. 7 is none other than Jose Rizal. 8. Concepcion Rizal or Concha. 9 is Josepa Rizal. 10 is Trinidad Rizal or Trining. And 11 is Soledad Rizal Quintero. The Rizal family was a large one. Jose was the seventh of the 11 children and the younger of the two boys. Among the Rizal children, Jose's birth was a hardest, for he has an irregularly large head. As a child, Jose was not physically strong and was sickly. Calamba or El Pueblo, a hacienda town belonging to the Dominican order, a picturesque nestling or a verdant plain covered with the irrigated rice field and sugar lands. The south is the Mount Makiling to Batangas, and the east is Laguna de Bay to Talim Island. North is the Antipolo. 1876, 15 years old Rizal wrote, "An recuerdo a mi pueblo," in a memory of my town. The story of the moth. The story. The story told by Jose's mother. The old and young moth who are by the light. All my attention was fixed on the face of the insect. I watched it with my whole soul. It had died a martyr to its illusions. See that you do not believe lie, the young moth. Don't be disobedient, or you may get burned as it did. The light seems to me more beautiful. It had grown more dazzling and more attractive. I knew why the moth circled the plain. So, the story of the moth, obviously, it was reflected as the how Rizal um see the light or enlightened by the things that he've learned during the time that he was in Europe, and he gave light to those Filipino. But um, same with the story of the moth. The young moth died because he believed that the flame is beautiful by means of his illusion that it was beautiful going to the flame. But the real thing is the flame as a harmful things to do, or um it may cause him to be burned. Just like Rizal, he gave enlightenment to the Filipino. At the same time, he died for the Filipino. He died for giving the enlightenment to those Filipino during the Spanish colonization. So, boyhood influences. So, hereditary influences. Malayan. He was also a Malayan. Love for freedom, desire to travel, indomitable courage from a Chinese. Serious nature, frugality, patience, love for children. A Spanish, elegance of bearing, sensitivity to insult, gallantry to lady. Hereditary influence by his father. Profound sense of self-respect, love for work, independent thinking. And last, hereditary influences by his mother. Religious nature, a spirit of self-sacrifice, passion of arts and literature. So, environmental influences. Kalamba, Rizal Family Garden. Stimulated inborn artistic and literary talent. In Rizal's Family Garden, um, it shows, or every time they are in their family garden, they are he was the one this in this place they are or in this place he showcased his artistic side and not and not artistic side and his literary talent. Next is religious atmosphere of his home. 45 his religious culture. So Pasiano is love for freedom and justice. So Pasiano he is the confidant of Rizal. Sister, his sister is courtesy of kindness to women. Aya or Yaya, interest in folklores and legend. So Tio Jose Alberto, he learned artistic ability. Tio Manuel, physical wellness through exercise, horse riding, walking, and wrestling. He helped Rizal to be healthy because Rizal is he was sick when he was little. Tio Gregorio, he teach Rizal in reading of good books. Padre Leoncio Lopez, parish priest, love for scholarship and intellectual honesty. Sorrows. The greatest sorrow of Rizal is the death of Concha and the imprisonment of his mother. It has strengthened his spirit to resist the blows of adversities. Spanish abuses and cruelties. It awakened his spirit of patriotism. Brutal this events or situation makes the fire and the in Rizal's mind to have a patriotism in his country or in this country. The brutal acts of Guardia Civil, unjust torture of the innocent Filipino, and another sorrow of Rizal is the execution of the Gombursa. During this time, um, when Rizal was young, he wanted to be a priest, but during the execution of the Gomburza, um, in his letter, he chose not to go or not to study not or not being a priest in the near future. It is because of what happened. Next is eight of divine providence. God endowed Rizal with the versatile gifts of a genius, a fervent spirit of nationalist, the valiant heart to sacrifice for a noble cause. Education in Calamba. Doña Chudora, Rizal's first teacher. In terms of reading, writing, and praying, Doña Chudora taught Rizal these kind of activities. Maestro Celestino, Maestro Lucas Padua, he was a private tutor of Rizal. Leon Monroy taught Rizal taught Rizal Spanish and Latin. Education in Binyan. Jose was 9 years old when he was sent to study in Binyan under Justiniano Aquino Cruz, who was a strict disciplinarian. Pedro the bully. He was he bullied Rizal for no reason. It is because Rizal was sick and he was teen during that time. After a few months, Jose Rizal was sent home because he has already learned as much as his teacher. He learned Spanish, Latin, and painting through one show. December 17, 1870, Jose left Binyan taking a steamer Talim. Rizal, the atheista, almost refused for admission. He entered an Ateneo Municipal when he was 11 years old. It was the start of Jose's formal education. He was late registered, sickly and undersized body. Manuel Cerces Burgos, nephew of Padre Burgos, helped him in his admission. So in 1872, Ateneo Municipal is the only modern school in Manila and was known for its equal treatment to the Filipino and the Spanish student. Rizal earned excellent mark in his subject. He wrote the award-winning poetry Juan to Alfasig in Ateneo Municipal. He practiced drawing, painting, and clay modeling. During this time, they adopted the surname Rizal and Jesuit system of education, internos Roman, externos Carthaginians. The emperor, tribune, decurion, centurion, standard bearer. So in a class of 12 students, he was one of the 9 students who graduated at sobresaliente or excellent. On March 14, 1877, he received his bachelor's degree in art with the highest honor. He became an active extracurricular activity in painting, sculpture, and poetry. Virgin Mary in a piece of Baticoleng, an image of Sacred Heart. Among poems are Mi Primera Inspiración, My First Inspiration. It was dedicated by his mother. An Recuerdo a Mi Pueblo, in a memory of my town. Alianza íntima entre la religión y la buena educación. Intimate alliance between the religion and the good education. Other poems are For la educación recibe Lostre la patria. Through education, the country reserves life. On Diálogo Alicevo a la despedida de los colegios. A farewell dialogue of the student. Al Niño Jesus, to the child Jesus. A la Virgen Maria, to the Virgin Mary. Segunda Kadigmak was the first romance of Rizal. On March 23, 1877, Jose received a Bachelor's of Arts with highest honors. Rizal as a Tomaseno, 1877 to 1882. Free Law and Theology courses, 1877 to 1878. And after he graduated from Ateneo, he was entered to the University of Santo Tomas, took up philosophy and letters. He earned his land surveyor and assessor's degree from Ateneo while he was studying in UST. Upon learning that his mother was going blind, Jose opted to study ophthalmology at the UST Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. He was not able to complete the course when he became politically isolated and adversaries among the faculty and clergy, who had demanded that he should be assimilated to their system. It is also because of this that his academic performance was not as excellent as he had in Ateneo Municipal, as reflected by his report card. So, in USD, he excelled in poetry and won a literary contest in 1879. His poem is A la Juventud Filipina, or to the youth, or to the Filipino youth, won first prize, and the following year he prose Consejo de los Dioses, the Council of the Gods, who won against Spanish Peninsulares who wrote in their language. In the latter part of his stay in UST, he was in the confidential consultation with Panciano. On May 3, 1887, Rizal boarded a Spanish ship that took him to the Singapore and Europe. So his second romance is Leonor Valenzuela, or Orang, and Leonor Rivera, or also known as Chamis, and their call sign. And he reacted against Spanish brutality. He became a champion of the Filipino student, or compañeros. He left UST after 4 years of studying medicine and decided to continue his education in Spain.